Today we are going to be exploring China's crazy Instagram culture by Aini. So yeah, let's see what's going on in the video.
Unless it was caught on camera. We first said this for
Yeah.
events that were just crazy.
I like how we just did it with like such a legit statement. There's like everywhere in every like social media culture basically.
No one would believe you unless you showed them proof. But nowadays, did you really go to Europe if you don't have an Instagram highlight dedicated to it? Did you really go
No image didn't happen.
out on a run with friends if it isn't on your story? What is the point of things happening in our lives if others don't know about it? This kind of mentality has drastically changed how we interact with, honestly, everything. If we optimize
So freaking true. That's such a like toxic way of thinking about it, honestly.
what we do in our lives for the sake of others, then many things that used to be a private experience now become a public performance. And
yeah, that is very much true. Like so many true statements, and we are only 30 seconds in. Based.
this is especially true when it comes to traveling. Traveling for the gram is not something only Chinese people do, but I do want to show you how traveling in China has morphed into an entirely different beast. It's kind of giving that one Taobao model who struck 50 poses in 1 minute, but instead of speed running poses, we're speed running every restaurant.
Look at me, I went to this restaurant and then like this another restaurant like on the other side of the road, and I went to this restaurant, you know, and I wasted so much money. I don't know why, but I don't really like see Chinese people like that way, really. I see like my British friends that way, honestly. My British friends when they go to Spain.
Every iconic spot, every activity, all at once. I hope you're sitting nice and comfortable right now, because if you couldn't tell, we're about to go on an exhausting trip together.
Oh my days, it's going to be an exhausting trip. Oh no.
In China, traveling for the gram is called Daka tourism.
They have a freaking phrase for it. I can't believe it. Do we have a nice phrase for it as well in the West? I'm not very much versed in like social media, well, and Instagram especially when it comes to like media studies. So it would be nice for someone to like say, I don't know. I understand that we have travel vlogging and stuff like that. Travel vlogging, travel blogging, you know. Yeah. I mean, we could say travel gramming, maybe. Travel gram.
Daka originated from office workers punching in and out of work, and now it's used to describe tourists who arrive at iconic sites, take the selfie, and then get out of there. Now, we're all probably guilty of...
I feel called out, because sometimes, like, I do this, and, like, I go to a place, I take a picture of the thing, not me, of the thing, and I'm like, yeah, I've been there, done that, look, I have a picture. By the way, looks very nice in person. Looks much more beautiful in person than it does on the picture. Yes, and then I'm like, yeah, that's that. Because I would be like more interested in like, I don't know, sitting down eating ice cream or something like that. I would be more interested in like activities that are not looking at something.
Doing this at some point. So I'm not saying Dakar is a bad thing, but sometimes people can get a little carried away with Dakar traveling. That's when you get special forces itineraries, another Chinese term used to describe plans where you pack as much as you can in as little time as possible. This level of...
I've seen people do that as well. It's crazy how they're just like, we are behind the schedule, 2 minutes behind the schedule. Oh. Pardon me, we're 2 minutes behind the schedule. Let's get faster, walk faster.
Sanity is better shown than explained. So let's watch this Chinese blogger go on a special forces trip as she explores a city in China called Nanjing. Okay, so we're starting off strong. 7:06, she's at Confucius Temple and she's just going around trying food and everything. At 8:03, she decides to jet, so she's on the metro. 9:48, she's at the next destination, which is Xinjiekou, and she's saying this is the biggest metro station. Oh my god, and she's dipped. 12:30, she's eating. Okay, yeah, me too. And then she's going to the next point. This is an art gallery. And then 2:19, she's at a museum, and then she's on her way to the next place, Presidential Palace at 3:15. On her way again, and she's arrived at a memorial. Next place, which is another temple, and it's 5:04 now. And then she's on the bus, and she's low-key dead, understandable. And then she's running to another bus station for the next place, at another temple. It's 6:30 now, and she's having a crash out, valid. Then she's arrived at a wall, talking about the moon, having another mental breakdown. And she's like, oh my god, it's so tiring doing this. But she's not done yet, because she's going off.
She's, you know, she's locked in. She wants the 100% experience. She's locked in to get all the achievements here, you know?
To the next place.
100%ing the area, like in Genshin Impact.
And this is Lavendel. I don't know what's called in English, sorry, but it's really pretty. It's like 8:30. Okay, so now
Very
she's
nice.
like walking around, and then she's off to the next place, which is Haidilao, which is hot pot, and it's like 11:30. Now 1:30, she's finished eating, and she's not done yet. 2:42 a.m. She's gone off to a hike to see the sunrise. It's 3 a.m. right now, and she's making her way up. I don't know how this girl still has the energy to do it. Oh my gosh. Another breakdown, understandable. And finally, it's 5:40. The sun come up, and she's rushing up the steps, and that's the end of her journey. She is crazy, but she's my
She is insane. True.
type of crazy. I usually hate planning, but on holidays, sometimes you just have to hit 7 spots and map out your day in 10-minute increments.
I cannot do that. I could never do that. If I go to a place, I just go like, oh yeah, there's this place I want to go to, and then there's this place I would like to check out, and then like you go to one place, you go to the second place, in between that you might find like a third and fourth place, and then you go home.
Other than the fact that we're both 25 years old and possibly going through a quarter-life crisis, are there any other reasons why people might voluntarily subject themselves to torture in the form of jam-packed plans? It turns out there are a few. First, you have practical ones. Lack of annual leave or working with a tighter budget incentivizes people to min-max or fit as much as they can in a short period of time, so they feel like they're making the most out of their trip. In China, work-life balance is horrible, and that's putting it lightly. So when Chinese youth finally
I like how she's just so real about this. I heard about Chinese work-life balance. Kind of non-existent from what I heard from the Chinese people I know.
have a holiday, they're going hard. And when it comes to travel budget, I mean, if I was a millionaire, I'd also say things like, of course babe, let's go back to the hotel and take a nap after lunch. But I'm not. So
if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't be going on vacations. I would probably be sitting at home 24/7, maybe going on a trip once a year.
I'm in Italy right now, I'm probably not coming back for a couple of years, which means we're seeing everything, doing everything, and eating everything. The hotel is not where we relax. The hotel is where we pass out. Now, I know I'm more on the extreme side when I travel, so let's dial it back a bit. You might not plan your holidays like me, but most likely you've still dark-card before. Arrived at a nice building or landmark, said it was cool, took a picture, and then moved on.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Exactly that. Like, only places I ever go to that I appreciate more is like galleries and museums. Art galleries, by the way, not like, you know, mall style galleries, you know. Because in Europe we call it mall style, like more. In America you have shopping malls. In EU you have shopping galleries, kind of. You know?
Where Chinese people differ in dark art though is that after they take these pictures, there's a very strong incentive to then post these photos on their social media.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna keep it on social media, then you can delete it. Not really. You don't delete it.
It's such a big thing that sometimes the priorities get switched around. Traveling so you can get nice pictures for your social media. As a result, in China, many travel guides feature the word 出片, which means photogenic, to try and get more tourists to come to their sites. Tourists themselves will also share their own tips, like go to this spot in the morning for better lighting, or taking a photo in this place will look great with a light-colored outfit. What ends up happening is you'll go to a place and you'll find girls wearing the exact same outfit. But having prescribed uniforms for a place isn't even the craziest part, because to get that perfect Instagram-worthy shot, some travelers go even further, lining up for hours in this instance to get pictures with a wall. This is a wall in Chengdu, and the text literally just says Chengdu, and people are willing to stand under 30.
This is like them bricks, what do you call them? Oh, Supreme bricks, yeah. I think Supreme had bricks, I don't know. But this is like the equivalent of that. Like, you know, you're gonna build a Supreme house with the Supreme bricks, right? Over here you have a wall with Chengdu, with Chengdu bricks in Chengdu. You know? They're just like, oh yes, luxury experience over here.
95-degree heat or 95-degree Fahrenheit in freedom units for like an hour just to get a picture with a wall. This wall definitely attracts its crowds, but it's still at a manageable level. Sometimes the dark art or check-in spots are so famous that there needs to be official rangers who keep time on how long each tourist can take in front of it as they take their photos. There's a clip of this one tourist who went super viral in China, and it basically shows this woman striking a bunch of poses in the 30 seconds she has before the next person comes in. Clearly, traveling in China has become
I would like to know how much training she did before she like managed to pull that off in like 10 freaking seconds.
very camera orientated. There's literally nothing to see or do at the Chengdu wall. It's a wall, but people will still line up for it.
It's not a wall, it's the Chengdu wall, you know?
Just for the gram. Another example of this shift in priorities can be seen with this one cafe, advertising its coffee saying, our coffees may not taste good, but they definitely
It tastes like shit, but it looks good. And I'm not being rude to the coffee place. I'm just saying. But I've seen people make things that don't taste good but look good. I don't know why, but I get baited so hard when I go to places that tend to look good but don't taste like as good. I'm like, that was underwhelming. I feel like I wasted my money.
look good. Crazy concept. I mean, I do the thing where camera eats first. You know, we all take a quick peek at the food and then we dig in. But I'm still the one eating at the end. What's the point of me ordering food that doesn't taste good? I think I would do this to someone I hate. Just make them the most mouth-watering, delicious-looking food and have it taste like the rubber sole of a boot. This is where things are heading though, because young people are prioritizing what will look good online more than the real lived experience. Which leads me to wondering why? What is driving this culture? Why?
You have a shitty 9 to 5 job. You have to do overtime to get by. You don't have breaks really. Your parents are very much unhappy that you decided to be a business person instead of becoming a doctor or an engineer. You don't have a girlfriend, boyfriend. Your prospects for family life are pretty low. You're gonna be suffering from low paying job for eternity. Prices are going to skyrocket. You probably won't be able to afford the thing that you're doing now in like the next decade. You know, there's so many things happening. Honestly, like, why not just be happy and show people that you are pretending to be happy? Why don't play pretend, you know? Because that's the only thing you have left, basically. It's such a depressing statement here, but yeah. I feel like that's how some of the people that post on Instagram think. And then I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it as a memory. If I forget it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. It wasn't worth it. Yeah. Life is suffering.
Does looking good matter more than things actually being good? And what does this reveal about us? Before Instagram stories and any form of social media existed, while you were out of the country traveling, you were truly gone. None of your friends knew where you were, and when you returned, that's when you gave everyone updates on what you saw and what you did.
Never been anywhere else, but I went China again for the 18th time.
Nowadays, however, your friends can watch you in real time as you make your way across different cities, almost like they're living these moments with you. And this change, facilitated by social media, has completely transformed.
Okay, so this is my personal thing, but I don't really care about someone's personal life on Instagram, but I do care about like YouTuber creating a video where he's like traveling by a train that I will never be able to travel, basically. I like the idea of that, you know, because I'm like, I like the interior here. Yeah, that looks nice. I would love to do that. Yeah. I'm not gonna have the chance to do that because I'm broke AF and I live on the other side of the world, basically. But that would be nice. Yeah. That's why you have all of those, like, you know, the videos where people walk in a city at night and stuff like that. Like, you want to be immersed in a certain, like, a place, and because you cannot afford to go there yourself. And yeah. It's sad.
How we experience traveling. Back then, traveling was a private experience between the place we're in and ourselves.
Yeah.
And now traveling involves us, the place, and a third party, the audience that we're showing this experience to. Now, why are we posting all of this? We can't blame social media. It merely provided us with a platform to share updates. So to understand this change, we really need to look deeper into human psychology or human desire. Sounds a bit deep, but
human desire. Lacan once said, he did not say anything like that, but I'm just pretending Lacan said it. You want to be seen, because that gives your ego a boost. And that's what Lacan probably said at some point. Probably not. I haven't touched Lacan in ages, but yeah.
Really, the main driver here is our desire to be recognized or validated. And this desire applies to nearly anything anyone does. As
Yeah.
a baby, we cry to get the attention of our parents. As we grow up, we fulfill this need to be validated in different ways. For many people, posting on social media fulfills this need for validation through gaining social recognition. I'm guilty of it. Most of us probably are. There's been
I'm not. I am pure. I know my ego myself very well. I just want to be a VTuber. That will boost my ego pretty decently. Yeah.
a bunch of research that shows how receiving positive feedback on social media through likes, comments, and interactions boosts one's self-esteem and elevates one's perceived social status. This then becomes a
Yeah, because if you like post to like bunch of people showing your quote unquote rich lifestyle, you're gonna feel much richer than your friends, basically, kind of, because you don't see them going to like, I don't know, Bali or something.
reinforcing loop. You want to post more because it feels good to see people giving you little hearts. So the next time something Insta-worthy happens, you recognize the opportunity, you capture it, and you post it. Okay, this loop is what triggers us to take action and
Yeah.
post. But there's also
Go back.
when you post it. Okay, this loop is what triggers.
For me, it's like post, get likes, be happy, get money, post, get likes, be happy, get money. That's my social media loop that I'm looking for, you know? Because in my opinion, social media is a great money maker. And I don't really care for things like validation and recognition. If I want to be validated, I need to do it myself. DIY, do it yourself. It's going to be much more fulfilling, you know? And you're going to feel much stronger. You're going to feel much more, you're going to feel the freedom, you know?
Triggers us to take action and post. But there's also some really interesting psychology behind what we choose to share with others. When we post pictures of ourselves on social media, we're crafting this visual narrative that builds into our identity. We very consciously select pictures of ourselves or of things that we think represents us best. Or maybe we just want other people to think this is what represents us best. Regardless.
Yeah. I like how she's going over the basic representation, like self-representation theories over here, without like talking about in depth about like, you know, about just about like the academics that talk about performativity, especially in social media.
Pictures we post tags us as belonging to some groups and being distinct from others. Let's just use me as an example. I have a picture of a cat on my feed. Immediately, this brands me as a cat person rather than a dog person.
Ooh, cat versus dog fight.
The other pictures I have on my feed are me traveling. Yes, this video on performative traveling is really just a play about me. I went to New Zealand
self-promotion, pog.
3 years ago, and what you can't tell from this picture is me freaking out earlier that day because I thought I lost my SIM card. Yes, I used to use physical SIM cards because I like the thought of being anxious every few seconds over whether my home SIM was still in the pocket I put it in. The physical SIM card I bought for that trip was also horrible. The connection constantly died on me, and I guess I was testing the limits of my
Is this the part where she does the advertisement?
anxiety, because what else can spike it more than being in a foreign country with absolutely no reception? This is when I realized I had free will, and I should use a SIM that I would never lose and would also never lose me.
Okay.
That's why I'm choosing Nomad eSIM. Not only does it have seamless coverage in over 200 destinations, it's also super easy
Go
to
back.
SIM. Not only does it have seamless coverage
You can have internet in Afghanistan, Angola, and what's like another country that is very hard to have internet connection in. Out of the A ones, not really anything. I mean, Anguilla. Anguilla sounds like a pretty hard place to get internet. Or I don't know. American Samoa 75. What? Okay.
in over 200 destinations. It's also super easy to set up. You pick a plan, install the eSIM, and simply activate to go. And you never have to worry about losing your original SIM card. For how premium it is, Nomad is actually affordable. Yeah. Prices start as low as $1.10 per gigabyte with no hidden fees. Which means
and then they get as expensive as American Samoa with $75 dollars.
Cheaper compared to
Can someone explain to me what's going on in American Samoa that it is so expensive? Like, I would love to see a Nomad representative someday like email me and just say, we have the fees for American Samoa as such because the internet connection in American Samoa is basically non-existent. We're trying our best, and I would be like, Based. Understandable. Based. Good luck. I hope the situation gets better at some point.
Most traditional roaming plans, and they offer a whole variety of data options to suit every budget and every trip duration. Nomad also offers a free 1 GB trial over 3 days, which I've never seen anyone else doing. So if you're going on a trip, download the Nomad eSIM app now and use my promo code for 20% off. You'll have a great trip, your anxiety will thank you for making smart choices, and I will thank Nomad for not only being such a reliable eSIM service, but also for sponsoring this video. Thank you, Nomad. Regardless of whether you post yourself on holiday or show pictures of cats, the way we dress, the places we go, the things we do, all of this curation builds social and cultural capital. Hopping on the latest trends, for example.
Okay, hear me out. This is something very important about this. Some people will not employ you if you don't have a Facebook page or if your Facebook page has nothing on it. I've been rejected once in my life because I don't have bloody Facebook. This is crazy. And by the way, if you want to know the reason why I don't have Facebook, I don't freaking use it. Like, I had it for like a couple of years. I never really used it. I don't really have friends. I don't really have friends. All of my friends use Discord, you know?
Make us seem cool because we have what everyone else wants. Doing or accomplishing something others find impressive increases admiration or social status. We've all heard how social media is a place where everyone flexes their highlights, and it's like that for a reason. Social media is a place where, put simply, many of us are able to find that validation we so
if you show the people that you're doing something based like once every couple of like weeks, it's going to make you feel good because you're going to get a bunch of likes, and also it's going to make people jealous of you because you are doing something based every once couple of weeks. Like, some people don't really do anything good or entertaining or fun for ages, basically.
Very much crave. For some of us, getting a like on our story from our friends is enough dopamine, but for others, perhaps we want a little more recognition, like building a larger audience through the content that is posted. I bring this up because, again, before social media existed, the only famous people you heard of probably were famous because they were exceptionally talented or they contributed something incredible to society. Now,
or they had enough connections to get into Hollywood, and then they would be filmed in a movie, and then they got famous somehow, and then they became famous properly. Yes. Connections matter. Whatever the time, connections matter. Unless you're like super skilled or super talented, then yeah, it doesn't matter, you know?
Nowadays, someone could go into a Japanese 7-Eleven, eat onigiri, and go viral. This is not a bad thing.
I would like to go to a 7-Eleven, eat onigiri, and go viral. It probably tastes better than onigiri I had over here in Poland. Or maybe even like probably tastes better than onigiri I had in UK.
Mainly because I watch a lot of convenience store vlogs, but this does show how social media is a setting that offers digital equality, an environment where you don't have to be exceptional to gain recognition or admiration, a place where even our wildest ambitions for validation can be met. And the simplest way to achieve this is if we exchange our real life experiences for online views. Think about it. What is easier, training 20 years to be a classical musician and gaining virality with an insane Lids cover, or sharing a trauma dump to complete strangers by starting your story with "put a finger down"? The fact that anyone can go viral as long as they post incentivizes people to create content. And if there's strong demand for this content, and if what you post is actually good, there's a high chance you'll pop off. To summarize, we as humans crave recognition, and not only has social media provided us with this, it has made it easier.
I like how we went from a China-based a video essay to generic. I mean, not generic in a bad way, but generic as in generalized social media essay. I wonder if we're gonna go back to China at some point in this video.
It makes sense why we like posting. Looking at traveling more specifically though, I'm not saying we only travel because we want to show off to others. We know people enjoy traveling and sharing about their experiences afterwards because emails, postcards, and letters exist. And
me giving my dad a magnet from Czech Republic. He never went. Well, I mean, he did go to Czech Republic a couple of times, but he never had like time to, like, you know, walk around, have fun in Prague and stuff like that, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get him a magnet and give it to him because he likes to collect magnets from places, you know.
Depending on how far back we go, this could be in the form of rock art or through stories passed out generations or as poems.
Go back.
Although this could be in the form of rock art or through stories.
I went from the eastern border to the western lands, and now you are here, my children. I don't know why, but this sounds like that sort of story over here.
Past generations or as poems. So there is an internal need within us to want to share with others the stories and memories we've made on our trip. But with social media, there is also an external element to it that is about cultivating our identity, building up social capital, and gaining validation through it. Social media definitely adds a performative element to traveling. And as I hinted at the start, China's dark car culture is performative traveling to the max, because entire tourist destinations are now being planned with this form of traveling in mind. That's right. Instead of taking pictures of places are being built for pictures. And Chinese people are very split on this change.
Oh, we are going back to China.
Before we travel now, most of us probably do research on where we're going. What should we do?
Sometimes.
Where should we stay? How long do we need in each city? And there's so much information at our fingertips. Regardless of how we obtain our information, most of us will be excited at the thought of visiting all these places that we've already bookmarked. And so begins the ecosystem. People are attracted or incentivized to go to specific places, a good sightseeing spot, or maybe a must-visit restaurant, because others hype it up. They then physically go there and check it out. And then they contribute to the myth by adding their review or a photo of themselves at the place. And so an internet famous tourist destination or a new dark car spot is born. And because of FOMO, fear of missing out, more and more people
FOMO, my beloved.
be attracted to go to that spot. If you're a city planner and you want tourists to come to your city and spend all their tourist money, you'd be looking at what sort of places they're most interested in. And so creates the phenomenon of Wanghong urbanism, or urban places built for online clout. The best example here is Chongqing, which I'm sure you guys have seen all over your feed for being a cyberpunk city. One of the most iconic spots in Chongqing is Hongyadong, which is also like Dakar Central. You cannot walk down the road outside Hongyadong at night without seeing a long line of photographers shoving their cameras in your face, trying to sell you the best pictures you'll ever have taken in your life. Honestly, I can kind of believe that claim, because Hongyadong is just breathtaking at night.
This is like the new Las Vegas, you know?
And its beauty is well appreciated. Shorts on Chinese social media featuring Hongyadong has been watched over 612 million times. As a result of its popularity, new escalators have been added to the site, and the city has added even more neon lights to the building. Security guards are said to have secondary jobs of being informal influencer conductors, giving advice to tourists on how to best pose for their selfies. Or take a look at Liziba Station. This is another famous dark car spot in Chongqing, and it's famous because the station goes through an apartment building. This spot blew up in 2017 for its unusual architecture, and it's been...
I want to know how is life living in that in that building? Or does it like stop inside of the building? Like, do you walk upstairs, right? You live underneath it, right? You walk upstairs, or take the elevator up or down, right? You get into the train, right? And then you go to work. Actually, now thinking about it, if I could have like a sound isolated room, right? I would love to live in something like that. I would love to, like, you know, take the elevator upstairs, right? And, you know, get inside the train and go to work, you know? That would be nice. And I can just go, like, get on the train back home. Elevator down, I'm home. Pretty nice. That sounds dystopian as you know, AF. But, yeah. I would like that, you know.
Getting a steady
Maybe dystopia isn't that bad sometimes.
stream of tourists since. Once the Chongqing government caught wind of Liziba's rising popularity, the station got remodeled to look better, but it didn't stop there. In 2021, the city government announced that Hualongqiao Station, the highest station in the world, would intentionally recreate the vibe of Liziba, where a train passes through a building. Honestly, so far, I'm still with these projects, but there are instances where it starts feeling a bit silly. For example, this street sign that says, 我在南京很想你, or I miss you a lot in Nanjing. And when I saw the street sign, I had to take a picture of it because I thought it was so sweet. Like, yeah, it's a subtle flex that I'm in this cool new city, but also it somehow captures just the right amount of poetic yearning. I don't know, maybe it's the way it's phrased in Chinese. It gave me the vibe of, I'm having the time of my life traveling, yet I still miss you. If someone said this to me, I would fold so fast. And I would have fallen for this cute little street sign if I didn't see the exact same thing in Chongqing, then in Yunnan, then in basically every other Chinese city I went to. Turns out it wasn't just me swooning over this phrase and the little city flex. I'm just like every other Chinese person, because this street sign went viral ages ago and every city council picked up on it, realized people are basically advertising tourism in the city for free.
Lads, I have a great idea. You know this sign over there in this city? We're gonna have one for our city, you know, change a little bit of like maybe change a little bit of it, you know, something like that, you know, and boom, 3 more tourists, more money for us, lads, for us, you know, and it's gonna cost us like basically nothing, and everyone on the board is like, more money, sure, let's go.
When they take a picture of this sign and share it, and started doing it too. Another thing I found amusing was this: the construction of Aranya Resort in Hebei province near Beijing. The developers of this resort wanted to capture a vibe of isolation and loneliness, so they created the Lonely Library, a 2-story brutalist structure that sits alone on the beach with its main windows facing the ocean. Honestly, the way I'd eat this up, this is so much.
I thought this was like a Airbnb for a moment. Like I would say I would live there, and I would still live there if it was like a Airbnb, but it's a library, so no.
My vibe. And again, apparently everyone else's, because the Lonely Library went viral on Chinese social media and Anranya became a huge tourist dark art destination. To cope with the influence of social media, and Anranya
behind that you have fancy housing. Pause, champ. Never mind. I would love to live in this sort of housing. I've seen something like similar in some places. Looks very nice. I would like to know how much like the sizes, room sizes inside of them. Looks lovely, honestly.
A huge tourist dark art destination. To cope with the influx of tourists that came to see it, multiple lonely libraries were constructed by the beach. And I get it. I am just like everyone else with my basic ass taste. But doesn't it start to feel a bit ironic when you have 10 buildings side by side, all trying to be lonely?
Maybe they're all looking for friends, but they don't agree with each other, so they're still lonely, you know. It's the 21st century representation of loneliness, because we're so connected to each other but yet so far apart, or something. Artistic interpretation, something. Give me money. I would love to. Honestly, that should be like a. I wonder if that's like a job for some people, that they give like a artistic interpretation of something and then they get money. Like if that's a job, hire me. I have degree in something similar but media related, you know.
Why am I pretending to be British?
Why you're British? What you doing? Mad.
Recognize how powerful dark art culture is in driving massive waves of tourism to their cities. So this culture has created a very fascinating economic cycle that's closely linked with the phenomenon.
Step 1, building. Step 1, plan. Step 2, building. Step 3, Instagram. Step 4, money. And repeat. Yes.
Economic cycle that's closely linked with the phenomenon of Wanghong urbanism. Step 1, an aesthetic place goes viral, like a train station that passes through an apartment or a lonely library. Step 2, people go visit and dark art, and it's shared enough that it becomes a staple part of the trip itinerary. It's a must-visit location now. Step 3, cities respond to this tourist influx, revamping sites and creating copycat locations. So there's a greater supply to match this demand. Then finally, step 4 is every other city in China copying what works.
Don't forget about step 5, money. Money, yes.
All this is done so tourists can visit less popular areas and still be able to get crowd favorite shots to wow their friends, family, or audience online. Now, how do Chinese people feel?
I wonder if the Chengdu Wall is like the street walk in, was it Liverpool? I don't remember the city, but you know the street where you walk like across like the Beatles do in their album. I wonder if it's something like that.
about this. Overall, Chinese people are pretty split on dark art tourism. A survey done by China Youth Daily showed that out of 2,000 respondents, 80% said the people around them love dark art tourism. 57% personally held a negative opinion, as they thought dark art was mainly about getting other people's attention and it offered a narrow, repetitive experience.
You get to eat food when you do DACA tourism, so that's not bad. I mean, unless the food is bad, then it's not good.
42% held a positive opinion of dark art traveling, as it allowed them to see as many attractions as possible within a limited time. The style of dark art tourism is not for everyone. For people like Tai Yang, a travel blogger, she says she prefers moving at a slower pace, so she can really take in the scenery and get to know the local culture. She compares dark art tourism to fast food. It's quick.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good comparison in my opinion, because fast food is like manufactured, easy to eat, quick to consume, very simple. But then when you go to like certain places, maybe like, for example, a good example of this would be going to a temple. If you go to a temple and you're somewhat spiritual, you don't want to go there in and take picture and out. You would probably want to like go there, maybe vibe a bit, you know, get the spiritual connection. Yeah, and stuff like that. And maybe see a stunning statue or something, you know. But instead of that, you get like, if you do DACA, then you are basically like in, out, wait, in, picture, out, post on Instagram, next place. Yep. Simple as that. Just like factory line, basically. Mass production of content.
And efficient but lacks actual substance.
Yeah.
Others who like dark art tourism say they're grateful for all these hyper-efficient itineraries that have been built so they can make the most out of their traveling experience. The dark art enjoyers are mostly students who are poor or working professionals who are time poor. Either way,
Yeah.
they don't care about being physically exhausted. They just want to make sure they land in Rome and conquer Rome. In
Vini Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered, you know?
And traveling is all about having a good time. And that means different things for different people. Whether you get joy out of checking in to multiple spots or taking your time and exploring each location, as long as you feel like you had a great holiday, that's all that matters. Actually, I lied. One more thing really matters, and that's you subscribing. Please.
Am I subscribed to her? Pardon me, I'm not. I like her videos. I watched some. Yeah, I watch them sometimes. I also leave a like. But yes, this video was very good. I like how she went from a China-based to more... she was like, focus... It's very much like a very basic essay structure where you just focus on something, right? You focus on the Chinese Instagram culture, on the DACA, right, in this case. Then you zoom out to more generic social media outlook on things and, you know, talk a bit about representation and such, and then you zoom back into China and talk about the kind of problem of it, basically. So yeah, this was a very good video essay in my opinion. I liked it. It was very fun. I'm interested in the video I see here recommended as well, because because yes, and yeah. What should I say? I liked it. If you enjoyed the video, my video, leave a like. If you enjoyed this video, there's a link in the description. So leave Aini a like, subscribe to her, and maybe subscribe to me, and maybe leave a like to me, and maybe recommend something that I should react to next. Sometimes, you know, maybe I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna be like, that looks interesting. Yeah, I wanna watch it. But yes, thank you for your time, and see you another time. Goodbye.